that.
Oh, I just caught the tail end of that sentence. Good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in this morning. You're listening to WZNC LP Bethlehem, North Country Community Radio, 99.9 FM, and streaming online at nococommunityradio.org. This is Amanda McKeen, and you're listening to North of Normal. We are on every Tuesday from 10 to noon, and from 10 to 11, I have a guest on with me, and we just have unscripted chats. And my guests are people around and through the North Country who are bringing something unique to the world, have stories to share. This is really just a place to shine a light on the amazing community that we have here in northern New Hampshire. So thank you again for tuning in. And today's guest is Stacey Lucas, which some people may know her as Fig.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So Stacey's here with me. She is no stranger to radio. She actually used to have a show here.
No, I've been a guest a few times. I'm a very big stranger to radio.
Okay.
I actually put my headset on upside down for a second.
Upside down?
Well, I had this thing twisted. And
okay.
All right.
Are we good now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in it.
So you're less of a stranger to radio than some of my guests.
Okay.
Yeah. So welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you brought all kinds of beverages.
Beverage Goblin.
Yes. Looks like we're going to be here for maybe the entire day.
I haven't even started my iced espresso, so if I start to get... I'm not even caffeinated yet. This is my ginger lemon tea with a little turmeric for my inflammation.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a single sip of caffeine. I'm just pumped.
That is unfortunate. I've had my caffeine in full, but it was several hours ago, so there's that. All right, Stacey, so I think one of the first things I like to start out with my guests is describing how I know them. And this is an interesting story. I don't really know how to tell this one. Maybe you could help.
Yeah, I saw all the amazing things you were doing in the world on social media, and you were really new to starting the North Country directory and the White Mountains directory.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just saw a spark in you, and I saw this fire, and I reached out and I was like, do you want to meet? And you were like, how about next week or whenever it was? And I was going to be 2 days out of surgery. So I was like, yeah, I don't have anything going on. And you came over and I'm just laying there braless in my jammies, and we got to know each other over some probably ginger ale and
it was those
bars. I made a snack.
Yes.
Yeah, I made a protein ball.
Yeah.
Protein bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I pre-made them before surgery, so they'd be in the freezer. So we shared a snack, and
it was awesome. You showed me around your house and the barn out back where you have so much artsy fartsy stuff going on. I really found that visit to be so magical. I mean, I just remember standing there just in the first, I think it was the kitchen, and just staring at all of the little details that reminded me of my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
There's you have little figurines, and you just have old cookware and just antique-y things, and I just was in heaven.
Yeah,
so much
my home, my surroundings are dripping in nostalgia. I love to have visuals that remind me of the vibration that I want to live at and what I want to remember, and I'm all about using the good china while you're alive.
Yeah, that's good. I definitely felt that, but there's a part of the story that you didn't mention, probably because you weren't part of it.
Yep.
So I had met with, I think her name's Michelle Bowden, and I was meeting with her early January, and it was right when I was about to create the White Mountains directory, and I was telling her my ideas, and I told her my idea about having a talk show like this.
Oh.
At the time, I didn't know that it was going to be here at the radio, but that idea happened in December, January.
You were manifesting.
I was. And so I was telling her about that idea. She was trying to get me connected to the community. And she said, you know, a person you need to reach out to is Stacey Lucas. And I was like, who's Stacey Lucas? And so then she's like trying to describe you. And I was like, oh, she sounds awesome. So I went and looked at your website. And I went in your what was your website? What's the domain?
Figdreams.com.
Figdreams.com. So guys, if you're listening, you need to go check out that website because you're going to understand what I'm about to say. Is that I landed on your homepage and I immediately had these feelings come through the screen of just like comfort, safety, creativity, like all of this exciting, positive, radiating emotion from your website.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I didn't even need to know anything further. I had Michelle say that you were an awesome person, and then I saw what you did on your website and how you were presenting yourself to the world, and I was like, yes. So I kept sending you invites to sign up on the directory once I had created that, and I was following you on Instagram, and eventually we did connect over a chat. And that's when we linked up and decided that I was going to come over.
You're right. I did not know all of that. Yeah. I actually just said, you want to come over, girl? Because I think you had reached out. And I do remember you saying, I checked out your website, but I did not know the story prior to that. But like even further, thank you for saying all those beautiful things about me. That was really nice. Yeah. I receive.
Good.
But also that's a true testament to how connected I am in the community because Michelle, shout out to Michelle, is actually the daughter of a great mentor and teacher of mine. So like that, you coming through that pathway or that portal is just like, that's solid gold and connection and community. And thank you for the kind words about my website. I feel like it's always been a struggle for me to put myself out there in a digital way because it feels so. And how do you concisely say what you do when you are an artist? So I say I'm an artist of creative transformation. And people are like, what the heck is that? And it's like an umbrella for everything that I do. Shout out to Evelyn Lamprey, who does my web design now and can translate all of my crazy ideas, and everything starts in my sketchbook, so I'm proud of the website and how it can share my story in a way that you really see me and you don't have to say, what do? You can read more and you can get a sense of my vibe.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hard thing to do. You're right. It's like translating who you are as a person into a digital form is like what everybody struggles with. And
Agreed.
That is one of my specialties in online reputation management is exactly that, is understanding the authentic person and the business and trying to translate that in a way that's true to who you are. Yeah. And I think you really did that very well.
I had to step out of my comfort zone, right? So two thoughts immediately come to mind. And the first one is that we don't see ourselves the way that the world does.
Yeah.
And we can all, I think I can speak for all of us when I say we are our own worst critics.
Yep.
And the things that sometimes just by default are in my brain, just the doubt sometimes, I wouldn't say some of those things to like my worst, I don't have any enemies, but like my, I wouldn't say them to anybody else.
Yeah.
And my inner dialogue can be so mean sometimes. So mean.
Yeah.
Just tell me what a piece of trash I am. But I'm like, I've built a toolbox and I can go back into it at any time and remind myself. And also that is, that's a practice. So translating how you want to feel about yourself and how you want the world to see you and feeling that all that alignment and putting it out there, it just that's been one of my biggest struggles. So we don't see ourselves the way that the world does.
Yeah.
And I think we can get hung up on that. And the other thing is I don't think that we're always encouraged to bring all of it to the table. When we when we go somewhere, you go to like a Chamber of Commerce meeting or like some sort of a social event, people ask, what do you do? And you're supposed to have an elevator pitch, or you're supposed to say, I do this, or I do this. And it's not really common that we're bringing all these things to the table, you know?
Yeah.
Like me, I used to teach hula hoop making, and I'm a face painter, and I paint murals, and I do graphic design, and I have a sticker company, and it keeps going on and on and on.
And a store.
And I create events, and I love to thrift and create mixed media art. I mean, these are all the big top players in my daily life, and there's so much. So how do you concisely put that out there digitally?
Yeah.
You just got to put it out there.
Well, you can't even, I mean, it's difficult even to concisely put it out there right now. Like, you have to spend time, and the person listening has to truly want to understand, right? Exactly. So people that visit your website are there hopefully to understand and spend a little time. But I'm telling you, the feeling, like the immediate feeling, maybe it was all the colors and the way that you have the images there. It was a feeling. It wasn't even the words that I read.
Well, thank you. I think that's my identity. Yeah. I think it translates to my store, to my barn, to my life. It's color, it's whimsy, it's play. Yeah. It's keeping my inner child alive and well and dancing. And that's not to say that there's not the difficult stuff, right? I don't want to also say I have this perfect life. There's struggle, but I find ways to heal. And
let's talk about the struggle. Great. Because we were talking about it even before we got on air.
I was actually just laying on the floor over here.
Stacey was on the floor.
Stretching out my hip.
Yeah. You're not even old.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm 46.
Oh. You look amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh. What's your secret?
My inner child.
Yeah?
Yeah. You have to play and don't attach to everything and take it all so seriously. I mean, I unsubscribe to a lot.
Oh, I like that word. That's a digital word.
Yes.
Unsubscribe.
I unsubscribe to beauty standards. Yeah. I unsubscribe to where I think I should be. I unsubscribe to a lot of ideals that I think can keep us in that comparison zone of. So, you know, well, this is my good side too. You didn't see this side.
That's funny. I don't even know which side is my good side.
Wait,
I think all sides.
Is that my dimple side?
Yeah,
that's my dimple side.
Okay. Okay, so you have some back problems. How does that translate when you're painting a mural?
Oh gosh, I've had back issues for the better part of 4 years, like just like a debilitating, like chronic pain.
Yeah,
and most people can identify with chronic pain of some level, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual pain. Pain is real. So I've learned to live in harmony with it. And that's not to say I ignore it, but I'm constantly evolving as someone who gets curious around what is making me feel bad and how to adjust that, and what I have to do, and prioritizing myself and giving myself self-love, because that also is not on default. That's not our default go-to, especially as honestly women. I'm like, we are like culturally conditioned to make sure everyone else's needs are taken care of, and that the village has food and they're clothed.
Yeah.
and I'm over here, like I'm learning how to put myself first.
Good.
It's been a journey.
I'm glad. We've kind of bypassed a typical conversation that I have in these.
Yeah.
And it's really about like where you came from and how you ended up where you are. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, I actually grew up around here.
You did?
So I did, yeah.
What town?
I took driver's ed in this town.
You did?
So we were learning about each other.
Yeah.
I grew up around here, and I've also traveled and lived in other places. So I guess the long and short, like the meat and potatoes of it, is that I moved here from the city, New Haven, Connecticut. I was born in. So I grew up in the Milford, Connecticut area until I was about 9. And our family moved here in the 80s and the 1980s. Remember the 1900s? And I had this like inner like rebellion kind of in me because, or this feeling of, there's nothing to do here because I just came from the city and we moved to a place where we didn't have cable television or paved roads. So in my mind, I had this story that as soon as I can, I'm moving out of here and I'm going to go to a place where there's stuff and there's art and there's culture and there's all these things that are going to be in a city. And I guess the joke was on me because I have traveled to a lot of cities. I've lived in another city. I've a couple cities and realized that everything that, not the joke's on me. This is I guess where my spiritual awakening began. I just wanted to return home, and that doesn't matter where you are. You create that within yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was trying to be concise, but there was an unplanned pregnancy in there, and then I had opened a shop in Asheville, North Carolina. And,
wow.
And on the day that I opened my shop in North Carolina with my then business partner, Aaron, I found out that I was pregnant with my son against all medical odds, and I decided I'm going to come home to New Hampshire and take everything that I've created and learned and all this wisdom from traveling and the people that I've met and create that wherever I go, but ultimately be in family and community to raise my child.
So you came back
pregnant,
and you moved where?
Well, I already had a house because I
I'm so excited for whatever you're about to say.
Well, I mean, I got like a mortgage, like it's a traditional way of getting a house, but I started my real estate portfolio at an early age because I had the financial means to do so. So I bought my first house right out of college.
Wow.
And I was 21, much in part to like my parents my dad and I started to talk about possibility because this was the first time I had like money that I could do something with. So he's like, you should buy a house. So I was like, okay. So it was kind of it was a whim, an intuitive decision. I bought a house and then I rented it out when I started traveling the world, and then I came back to it. Yeah, I actually kind of forgot about that part of my life. Thanks for bringing that up. So I had a place to go to, but it was something that I had built, and I had moved about the world intuitively and just following my yes. So when it felt like it was time to come home, I was lucky that I had a place that I had already built.
Yeah, you were lucky. Was it hard to get your tenant out? Did you have any tenant issues?
Well, he actually ended up being the father of my child. So we're, I didn't know where this conversation was going, but I'm an open book, girl. Shout out to my baby daddy.
Okay.
See, we really are meeting each other.
This is awesome. By the way, listeners, I always ask my guests before they come on if there's any topics that are off limits.
I couldn't think of any.
And Stacey couldn't think of any, so here we are. So how would you like to proceed, my dear?
Well, we're at the part where I'm pregnant, so you probably don't want to hear about like no, I really you take the talking stick. Let me know.
Okay.
Because I'm here. Wait a minute. So I'm here.
You came back.
I'm back
home.
in here. I'm home. Now I'm in my 30s at this point.
Okay.
So my son just turned 14, so I'm 32. at this point. And I am elated because I actually was told that I could not have children. So I had taken that off the table in my 20s. And it was a pivot.
Yeah.
It was a pivot. And then I decided life by design is the only way. Like, we don't have any control over this. We have to learn to be sovereign and in control in our own ways. And we're the common denominator in our lives, right?
Yeah.
So everything can change like that, for the good, for the bad. So I decided to stay here, build some roots, stay connected, keep making stuff. And I didn't care what that meant. I everything from welding to woodworking to stained glass. I'm always like making something.
Wow.
And that's been my direct line to healing, is absolutely creativity.
Yeah.
Making a go of it as a freelance artist. I had no job, so I had already left my corporate job.
What was the corporate job?
I worked for a print company here, actually. Not here. We're in Littleton, in Holderness. So it was in New Hampshire, called Mega Print.
Okay.
Where I met my aforementioned baby daddy. I really didn't think we were going here, but it was not like an office romance. It was a post office romance.
Okay.
And yeah, but I met a lot of people that we spoke a similar language there, and friendship and kindred spirits. And so when I came back to raise my son, and I'm creating and I'm making it all work, I had a little store on Squam Lake called Veggie Art Girl. So that was my last branding.
Oh, yeah. That explains it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And which I just rebranded last year to Fig Dreams, because I was tired of explaining to people that I don't paint with vegetables. That's a whole nother story in itself. We could actually do a piece on understanding the why behind your branding before you just jump full on in to some wild. Yeah, because I thought it was really cool to have a purple van that had a caricature of me with an eggplant on my head that said Veggie Art Girl with swirls coming out the back of it instead of flames. And I was like, why is everybody taking my picture when I'm driving down the highway with little cameras? I could have used a consult team for that branding. But anyways, I pivoted, and I just decided I was all in. Every time I pivot, I'm like, okay, I'm all in on where I'm at. That's the whole point. Yeah. So I'm all in on Fig Dreams as a way to share my evolution, share my dreams, share my big dreams, get a little pun in there. And so, yeah, the branding was like a stake in the sand on bringing all my parts to the table, all my gifts, and boldly calling myself an artist of creative transformation.
Yeah.
We probably skipped some stuff in there.
We did skip some things.
We only have an hour.
Don't worry. Okay, so you had this shop on Squam Lake. What was the experience of that shop?
Oh. The experience of that shop was... Okay, so the memory that comes to mind is I'm working my corporate job. I am there from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, always there by 7:55 on a Monday, tucking my shirt in, being in my cubicle, thinking to myself, there is more out here for me.
I cannot imagine you in a cubicle.
I didn't tuck my shirt in actually that much because, but I was in a cubicle.
Yeah.
And, for where I was in my life, it was great. It offered me financial security and consistency and a 401k and all these things that I maybe would not have sought if I was living out of my van. But I had a degree in marketing and design.
Okay.
And, graphic design. And I dabbled in marketing. But of course, my last class was in 1999. So I'm really self-taught, honestly, in a lot of ways. That just got me in the groove, But I have to stay on top of the language to keep up with the yeah, I passed in my final in 1999 for graphic design.
Wow.
I everything that took me like 6 months to do, we can do with like 3 buttons on Instagram right now.
I believe you. That's crazy.
It hurts sometimes.
Yeah.
So I just remember taking a lunch break and going to check out this old warehouse on Squam Lake. I knew nothing about it. I just was invited by a previous coworker of mine, and she said, there's this rental space available. I said, I'll be right there. And I went down on my lunch break to look at it. It was an old auction space / seafood restaurant with like caved in walls, and it had flooded at one point, and I just was like, I'll take it. I think I could do something with this. And I got to work, started painting the floor, and created a little consignment art shop where I started putting my own stuff on the walls and kind of letting my freak flag fly a little bit. You know, I had my grandmother's old Halloween costumes that I put on racks and brought in some little vintage treasures to sell, and really invited people to bring in repurposed and unique crafts to sell, and started creating events from there.
Yeah.
2009 I opened.
Okay. And that's where the original Big Love Market started? No?
Oh, no, girl. That's chapters ahead. That's actually in the next book.
Maybe you should come back for a few more episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, ask your listeners, like, what do you want to hear more about? Because I know that I'm all over the map. So, because the story is, it's all in my head. You can't see it. But if you have questions on any part, have them like just reach out or.
Okay.
And what do you want to talk more about?
Well, I want to understand, and I think it would be interesting for our listeners to know what it was like to move from being in the corporate world and having that stability to suddenly releasing all of that and becoming your own boss and depending fully on yourself for that stability. Yeah.
That's a trust fall.
Yes.
That is a trust fall. And it also takes a certain level of maybe insanity or like delusion. But
delusion?
I'm just kidding. A little bit. I just thought, how can I almost like work this through like some sort of okay, who do I want to be? I don't want to be sitting here in this job. I mean, shout out to my awesome boss. Everything. I also have to say, like, it was a great job. Like, it was a great job. Yeah. And I genuinely loved the people, and I loved the bonuses, and I loved the commute. Like, it was the perfect job. But the voice that kept coming through at my desk, the little like, hey, was, hey, if you're at the best job ever, why are you still unhappy in these little areas of your life? So I started to get curious and question my why behind what I was doing and this like 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So in my curiosity, of all places, I was at the gynecologist, and I was, again, on my back. And my very open, beautiful, pun firmly intended, gynecologist said, hey, is your boss? And I was like, that's my boss. And she said, I don't know why I feel like I should tell you this, but take all the wisdom you can from this person because he runs a good business, and it's because he's in community and he gives back. And I just, over and out, I'm just.
Yeah.
And I thought that's a weird place to get some random spiritual advice and from the WHO, but it doesn't matter where it comes in, right?
No.
You got to be always listening for the signs and like paying attention to like the numbers and the, all the little signs from the universe. So you take it where you can get it. If it's at the gynecologist, that's cool. And I did that. I followed the yes because it felt like a yes in my body. It felt like, okay, pay attention. And so for like the next year, I was just like, man, this guy is doing something right. He's running a successful business. He's always giving back. You know, people are genuinely pumped to come to work. And there's like, what is the thread through all of this? So in my curiosity and recognizing how he did business and giving back, and a lot of other just modalities, I started to think, well, what makes me different from him? And can I do this? Yeah, I could do this. So it wasn't about him. It was about learning from the experience. And then that was just like a portal of understanding. That one conversation, I was like, yeah. And I took some action based on like a feeling that I had. And I mean, I think that you don't have to be at the gynecologist. You can be anywhere, right? Yes. You could be like in the shower. You could be first thing you wake up, you're laying down and you're talking to somebody. I encourage people to like write down those ideas wherever you are, get them down, put them in your notes so that you don't lose that, those thoughts.
Yeah.
So,
and those can happen they can happen in a positive place or conversation, but they can also happen in a place of negativity too.
Yes.
And that is where you least expect it. But it can totally happen there, and I know that firsthand.
Yeah.
You can hear those and see those signs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think regardless of where they come from, if you look at them from a place of curiosity then you can extract the positive. So one year of observing my boss and like trying to build up the guts to leave even, and to work with my people pleaser, because I knew that I played an integral.
You said it right.
Integral?
Yeah.
Integral.
Keep saying it.
Integral. That's pretty important there. I feel like I felt like, not to like pop my ego out over here, but like I knew the gifts that I brought to the table. I knew that we had a flow there. I knew I was going to change things. I knew it was going to disappoint people. I had accounts that I was really, people were depending on me. Mm-hmm. So it was also hard to let people down.
Yes.
And I had to work through that. So one day I kind of just got the courage and I said, all right, you are just going to keep following your yes. Oh, and you know what the sign was? I got a trip to Dollywood gifted to me.
Like in India? What's
no,
Dollywood?
in Tennessee.
Oh.
Dolly Parton.
Oh.
She has an amusement park.
What am I thinking of? Bollywood?
Yeah.
Okay. Dollywood.
I was invited to go on a bingo playing senior citizen bus tour to...
and you went?
And I did. And that's another story in itself. I said yes, but on the trip, we stopped in Asheville, North Carolina. This amazing, but we stopped at so many buffets. But we stopped in Asheville, North Carolina, listening to some Bing Crosby, looking at some Christmas lights on this awesome bus tour through the Smoky Mountains. And I got off the bus. I stepped one little toe onto the pavement and I smelled the air and I was like... something here is a yes. Asheville, North Carolina is a yes. I knew it. And that's what got I partnered that with my curiosity around where I wanted to pivot in my corporate job and was like, I think I'm going to go there. And boop, I just made that my next goal.
End of story.
Well, and then, I get pregnant and I open a store and then I come back here and then...
Okay.
It's an hour, Amanda.
Wow. I think it'd be helpful to have the timeline visually.
Oh.
So that you could say, here, this is what happened, and these are the thoughts and the feelings. And then I went here, but then this happened back here, There's a lot of, jumping.
I know.
Of the timeline.
You told me we didn't have to script anything.
It is unscripted. It's great. Magical. And I hope I
actually forgot the question. I hope they're amused. What you talked about.
The only question I asked. The only question I asked was wanting to know more about the experience of going from the corporate world to now being your own boss?
A compare and contrast, if you will.
Or just the process, which you did explain.
Yeah, it was very intuitive.
But then we landed in Asheville, but like here where you are now in Woodstock, with a beautiful little store that I still haven't been in yet. But I hear so many great things. I want to connect the dots to where you're at now. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I've lived many lives. So, when you're going through something or you're thinking something or you're planning something and the little nudges, like they start to build and build and build and right?
Yeah.
Until it keeps you awake at night.
Yes.
It got to that point.
Okay.
And that's when I said, I'm going to walk through the fear that I have around, like, do I have enough money in the bank? Do I have this? Like, it was just time for me to crunch numbers very quickly, barely, and just say, okay, well, like, my bills are paid. I have a tenant here. I can hit the road and I can go discover a whole new world and find some joy. I was looking for joy. And so I needed a project or an idea to get out of my comfort zone. And I knew that Jim Henson's sketchbooks were on tour in Atlanta. So I made that my next destination with a plan of like heading north to Asheville. And then it was just following my yeses. It's following my yeses and building and building and becoming more sustainable in myself and in my business. So that was 2009 for context.
Okay. Thank you.
I did not have a cell phone. I had like the first edition Garmin GPS with a suction cup in my purple 1993 van, which was named Janice the Vanis. With the picture of me with an eggplant on my head holding a paintbrush. It was very phallic and very inappropriate according to today's digital standards. I understand that now. Blogging was on the scene. So I was like blogging sometimes with a 35 millimeter camera and like scanning the photos.
Oh, no way.
Oh yeah. I had a 1.2 megabyte digital camera. It was lime green and it held like 26 foot. Like this was old. Yes. I just started MySpace. That's actually where I found room rental. It was on MySpace. And yeah, I hit the road, but I was like, okay, Fig, I have my inner dialogue. I'm like, sometimes I point to myself. I'm like, Fig, I play with my like little creative alter ego. I was like, now we follow our yes. We follow our yes by your own standards and not by what the world thinks you should be doing. And so that has been a slow, sustainable burn and build since 2009 to the person that you're sitting here with today.
Nice.
To incorporate all of these gifts and to bring it into all the things that I love and surrounding myself with people that help me grow. And there's a beautiful reciprocal relationships. And I really value quality in everything that I do.
Yeah. All right. So you are totally a free spirit in every sense, I think.
Like 95%, because I still love a good to-do list. I love a spreadsheet.
Do?
Yeah.
You love spreadsheets?
No, I like to look at them and have them. I don't like to make them anymore.
That's such a strange thing for an artist to say. Where does that come from?
I do think that I am both right and left brained. Some people might disagree, but I love organization. I love a good office supply. I do want to make sure wallpaper is lined up when it's put up. Like I can't. There are some things that I like a certain way as part of my foundational needs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm pretty good at pivoting, so I do have that free spirit.
Yeah, I totally hear you on that. Is it
practice though too?
It is. Is it possible to be both sides at the same time?
I mean,
Or do you just have to pick which one you're going to be in the moment?
I think it is possible to definitely bounce back and forth.
Yeah. I think I do that.
Yeah. Well, you have a similar story too. And so, I mean, it's completely different, and yet it's very similar and probably very relatable to your listeners. And maybe even as I'm sitting here, because it's all about trusting what is right and what is true for you on your path.
I have my own day in December for an interview, so I'm going to...
Interview yourself?
I'm going to interview myself.
Nice.
No, I have someone coming on to interview me. I did think about it. I'm like, how could I do this without needing anybody else?
I can't pay the rent. You must pay the rent.
Yeah. So I'm going to hold all my secrets until that day.
All right. We'll say nothing.
Yeah.
Then. No spoilers.
But yeah, when I came over to your house, I was going through something. I was just leaving the corporate world.
Yeah. And I think specifically you had received an email in the parking lot of my home before coming in.
Yes.
So it was fresh and raw. Hey, you know what? We all meet at the time we're supposed to meet in this lifetime.
I believe that.
I think that we connect and disconnect when we're meant to. You can't really attach to the story of, oh, I should be with that person forever, or that's the way it's supposed to be. That's what this is all about. It's a trust fall into where you're meant to go.
I like that you said that. I think sometimes we commit to an idea and we hold on to it so tightly.
Constricting.
That we aren't paying attention to what we need to let go of.
100%. I think so, yeah. I mean, in my experience, I know that most of the time, if I've tried to have a death grip on this thing that I really want and specifically how I want it to go, not only does it not go the way that I want it to go, and I'm 9 times out of 10 disappointed, but I've missed like all this magic that's just like whizzing past me on the highway. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because you really have to take it all in and be in the moment.
Yeah, the very thing that you're seeking, you are missing because you're trying to make it happen.
Yeah. I wrote a song about that one time with my baby daddy.
You wrote a song?
Yeah.
Do you want to sing it?
Oh, God, no. No.
Do you remember the lyrics, though?
Buried treasure is always walking up on shore, and if I only look straight ahead, I'll walk right past that open door. Something like that. But it's called Along the Horizon, Horizon is what it's now called.
Nice.
And so, no, he sang it. That just came through because I like to play with different just mediums in art and just expression.
Yeah.
And when I was leaving Asheville, or in the transition of like having been there for a while and wanting to build a business back home and just figuring it all out, I wrote that song. And it was like, I didn't know that I was having my spiritual awakening when I was having it, kind of thing, you know? Like I was just, I'm just following my joy. Oh, I'm just connecting to nature. Oh, I'm just trying to heal myself. Oh, I'm just, and then I connect with my people and stay in my purpose. And I think in hindsight, I've kind of looked back and been like, oh, spirituality looks different on everyone.
When you were going through that, and probably even now, what advice would you give our listeners in regards to letting go of certain relationships?
Ooh. Yeah, because if you know me at all, you know that I should be giving advice on relationships. Nice. Hey, listen.
This is really advice for me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Not asking for a friend.
No.
Listen, a relationship, whether it's romantic, if it's business, if it's friendship, whatever, if it is truly not serving both of you, then or if it's not serving one person, then it's not serving both of you. It's forced. It's fake. And how do you discover that? You have to be in your most authentic self, right? Yeah. You have to make sure that you're in alignment and you're in integrity with yourself. And if you're coming to this person and as what you think to be or feel to be your best, most aligned self, and you don't align with this person, that's great. Because, I mean, it's not great. It could be, it's painful sometimes, and there's a transition. It's painful. Yeah. However, it is the truth. And the only thing we have to do is, I believe, or in my experience, is continue to navigate, hopefully with grace and openness and communication that honors what you had and also honors that you both have a different path to walk. Yeah. Does that help?
A little.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to, when you're kind of on your own path and you realize that certain things aren't aligned anymore, certain people, it's really hard. The people pleaser in us is like, oh no, like I'm going to hurt this person.
Yeah.
By letting them go or by distancing myself, it's going to hurt them. Right.
And also, it doesn't have to be forever, right? So you don't have to attach to a timeline so you could say for right now, this is not working, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is forever and permanent. Some of the people that I have in my circle right now, even like this week, I never would have thought I would have reconnected with in my life because I had kind of written them off 20, 30 years ago and now I just realized we have to stay open to, it doesn't matter the how, but when people come into our lives, not shut them out, and also be open to people leaving our lives if your values don't align. I think a lot of us are experiencing that right now. And because when you got to love yourself, man. You have to love yourself first because you're the only person that you're going to hang out with every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm not sitting here saying like, I love myself so much. like I'm sitting here saying like, I'm in practice of this self-love. And what does that mean? That is definitely not like facials and painting my toenails, although nope. It's more about like just honoring myself.
Yeah.
And, like, oh, my back hurts. I'm just going to have to get on the floor right now and just do a little bit of stretching. And we're going to do a pre-interview like on the floor, making sure that I've given myself enough water today and that like I'm hyping myself up and taking space. And for me, that's not even a routine. It's not even an exact routine. It's a kind of what I need day by day, but making sure I put hours aside to do stuff that recharges my soul. So you have to love yourself first. And part of that love is letting go what doesn't serve you.
Yeah. So let's talk about your store.
Oh, okay.
Because I haven't been there. So I'm genuinely asking, like, what is it like if I were to walk in there? Who is it for?
Anybody that is looking for a shift in their perspective. It's a portal of possibility.
Ooh, a portal?
Yes.
I haven't heard it described that way.
Well, that's not what it says on the website. You got to feel it in your own time and you got to like get the vibes. But like when you walk in, even me, every time I walk in there, the only rule I say lightly, the only guide I had for myself when I opened the shop was I have to create a place that I want to return to every day. Mm-hmm. So monotony can sometimes be the killer of creativity.
Yeah.
So I have created a space that is ever evolving. It's nourishing, it smells good, it feels good, it's safe. You can also buy some art. And it's some local products. There's lovely gifts. But I feel like more importantly, when people step in, you can take a deep breath and just be. And then wherever your energy moves, whether you're looking at the herbal teas that my mom makes, they're heavenly, or the jewelry, or the vintage creations that I collect and sell that are sprinkled around with the plants, my own greeting cards, stickers, and the art and the messages. However you're meant to take it in, that's exactly how you're meant to be there and your why. And I love the conversations and the community that has built around this little brick and mortar. I hope to expand it bigger, whether that's franchising or into a next building in the next 2 years. I kind of have a trajectory without holding on to anything like too tightly, but I have an idea of where I want it to go to expand, because I have more to offer in that realm. But yeah, I'm going to call it a portal of possibility.
I like that.
Where you can buy stuff.
I'm curious because I saw that you've got like White Mountains stuff, like touristy stuff. So do you get a lot of tourists that come in there?
I do.
You are in Woodstock.
Yeah, I am in Woodstock, and it is touristy, and it's definitely the place to be during ski and ice castle season and foliage and summer. So my off season is April and May, our mud season. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's the 5th season when all the snow melts and you have to wear boots everywhere you go, and half of your friends' driveways are closed off because it's just a lake of mud. Yeah. So yeah, during mud season, I close it down, and that's when I try to intentionally travel. Sometimes I'll go to California to be with my brother, go back to Asheville. Or more recently, I have another sibling who just moved to Michigan, so I'll be going there. And also, it's serendipitous that you would say Bali, because that's on my radar.
Is it?
Yes.
Why is it on your radar?
Because I had a meditation when I was in Fiji with my friend Astrid, and we both had the same vision of going to Bali and renting an apartment for a month and just living there and getting a couple mopeds, and we have a couple rentals we're already looking at. And
wow.
So Astrid, if you're listening, I have not forgotten. We're making it happen one of these years. That's one of the next things I want to do.
That's a pretty courageous thing to do. Not everybody has traveled to places that far away and foreign.
I think that was a big yes for me.
Yeah.
2019, I started traveling internationally.
Okay. So not that long ago.
Not too long ago. I mean, I had already been to England, and a lot of time I spent in around Canada, not just like going to Montreal or like going over the border to get beer in high school because I live so north. But I in 2019 was in a place where every cell of my being knew that I needed change. And also I was in a relationship with somebody who I loved very much, but was also caretaking in that relationship so much that I had lost myself. And I had this was a big yes. And by this point, so this is 2019, I'm already 10 years in on listening to my yes, understanding my intuition. My inner child she's still in there. And I was walking up the stairs one evening, and I remember it clear as day. I was walking up the stairs. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I was exhausted. I had just finished cultivating this beautiful community event with my then partner and event partner, and we had thousands of people come to this event. It was chef's kiss. It was so good, and I was exhausted but inspired and alive. You know that feeling, your adrenaline. And I'm going upstairs to go to bed, and something inside of me said, "Hey, why don't you check your email first?" And I was like, "What? Really? Okay." So I listened to that. Yes, I listened to that voice. I came back downstairs, opened my email, and there was an invitation in there by this company called Unconventional Life, which I actually like. I have the sticker. That's the sticker from on my water bottle here.
Okay.
And it was an invitation to go to Madagascar for this entrepreneurs artist retreat.
What?
And I was like, first of all, where's Madagascar? Like on a map. And I was like, I don't care. I'm not even going to look it up. I'm just going to apply right now and then go to bed. I'm talking like one email. That was the subject, or the subject line was, do you live an unconventional life? And I was like, I actually do. So at 1:30 in the morning, I'm reading this application when I should be in bed. I apply and went to bed that night thinking, that's cool. I'm going to go to Madagascar. I should really look up where that is on a map, actually, because I didn't look it up. And I just knew it. I knew that's where I was going next. I didn't know the why. And I ended up getting accepted into this program, this group that travels. That sounds exclusive when I say group. It was a bunch of people traveling with this leader who just wanted to shake things up for entrepreneurs with the idea that what happens when you step outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And so here I am 7 flights later after, and also this is when I was 40. 40? Yeah, I was 40. I was trying to do the math. I'm like, how old am I now? We just talked about that. I was 40. So for my 40th birthday, my friends all put this beautiful surprise party on for me. I was truly surprised for the second time in my life. The first one being that pregnancy I was telling you about. And so I was truly surprised, and everybody paid for my plane ticket.
They did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then you went to Madagascar.
Yes.
Did you see the lemurs?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
I did. Yes. I saw the lemurs. You know, those claws, like they're like they're very soft.
Oh.
I was scared.
You actually touched them.
Yes. Yes. I didn't see a striped tail one. They were more like your squirrel looking, like gray and brown. Oh, I have a few pictures of me, like, they're almost kind of like invasive sometimes when you're like eating. So it was cute in pictures.
Uh-huh. Gotcha. So how long were you in Madagascar?
I was there, I think the trip was a total of like 17 days.
That's a long trip.
It was. And having a young kid at home, my then partner stayed with him, and my family they made it work. And I don't know if they understood what I was doing. I don't think I understood what I was doing, but I felt in my bones. I was like, yes, I'm just meant to just be out here. And by out here, I mean somewhere different, shaking things up, like getting new perspective. And then I came home sober, and then the relationship failed. Oh no, the relationship ended. I shouldn't say failed. I should say it ended because I was no longer at that vibration anymore. You know, and I had to make a choice between myself or this relationship that I'd been pouring my life into for the better part of 5 years.
Yeah.
And I chose me.
Good.
Eat, love, pray.
Kinda.
It was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I was going to come back and think, you know what I need to do is quit drinking and get more clarity and like really connect with who I am. I had no idea.
Yeah. That was a big moment.
That was a big moment.
So then that just kind of like, you know, these other trips that you've said you've been on, are they all with that same intention of getting outside of your comfort zone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like this interview, I sometimes don't even like look up the agenda of like what's going on.
Yeah.
Like just pack for all the weather and just go.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'll overthink it too much.
We could call that, we could just say, just fig it. Right?
Just fig it.
It's figging it.
Yeah. It's fig and awesome.
Yeah.
I do get figgy with it a lot.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What?
It's almost 11 o'clock. Can you, before we end, can you talk about how you got that nickname?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Oh, Okay, well, 1 minute. Got it.
Yeah, you got 1 minute.
Great. Okay. Picture, if you will. It's 2006, I think, and I am wearing overalls and I am painting a mural of these like a rainbow cow and a rooster on the side of a barn at my friend Amy's house, and her little son, who was almost going to be 4, so he was then like 3 3/4. He overheard a conversation where somebody was talking about the name Fig, and he turned to me and he goes, "You're a fig," and it just like it was like a arrow through my heart. I was like, "Oh, that's just so sweet." And then as I was leaving, he turned to me and he said, "Have fun driving in your fig mobile." And I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." And I thought like nothing of it. And when I got back to the office on Monday and I checked my MySpace, everyone's like, "Hey, Fig, hey, Fig." And it stuck. But I thought it was so endearing and adorable. And I've never had a nickname aside from a few unmentionables from being bullied, back in the day.
Yeah.
My last name rhymes with mucus, pucus. I mean, there's like a lot of, I had nothing cute. And I just thought Fig was so like free and simple. And listen, I'm a font girl, so I love a lowercase typed F and a G. Like those are two of my favorite like serifed characters. So I'm like, visually. So I'm like, I love it. And yeah, it just stuck. So a few people call me Stacey, actually.
So,
and if they do,
yeah,
I think that they're mad at me. Like my best friend, and she's like, "Stacey." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you angry?"
Oh my
gosh,
I
I'm Fig.
didn't know that. So I need to call you.
You
Fig.
can if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that story and all the other ones. I want to, like, next time you come, I want to talk more about your experiences overseas, because I'm sure you've got some crazy stories.
I do.
And I would love
like
to
how I got this tattoo.
Oh. We don't have time
No, we
today.
don't. 11:01.
Yeah. Stacey, or I should say Fig.
Fig.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for being present today and winging it. And
I winged it.
And like going to places where you didn't think you were going to go.
I didn't think I was going to go. But might I also just close with the idea that when we share our story, it's healing for ourselves. I mean, I just brought up all these memories that I had forgotten about, but it's a reminder that we're so strong in what we've created and where we've been, and the good, the bad, the ugly. It's all part of our forward momentum and becoming the best versions of ourselves. So
beautifully said.
Yeah.
So basically, what she's saying is that my radio show is healing.
Yeah.
And so, if you're interested in being a guest on my show, maybe it would be a healing experience for you.
Get your butt down here. Yes, this is fun. This is fun.
Yeah, thank you. All right. I do need to do the call sign because it's after 11. But for all of our listeners today, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting FIG and for supporting North Country Community Radio, which you are listening to right now. We're at 99.9 FM. It's WZNC LP Bethlehem, streaming online at nococommunityradio.org. Hope you guys have a fantastic day.